Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing and sharing my first impressions review of the fragrance Du Bois and Demi Rawling collaboration Minuit et Demi. This first launched last year right before the holidays, which is always a very stressful, very hectic time, so I hesitated, which was a huge mistake because it ended up selling out within a couple days and it was too late. So I was very happy when she announced this was coming back, and I know there were a lot of people who were so disappointed that they couldn't get their hands on it. I checked right before I sat down to film. It looks like this is still available for the moment, but I would recommend, if it sounds like something that interests you, go ahead and pick it up quickly because I would imagine this is going to sell out again. I will of course link the Fragrance Du Bois website down below, as well as Demi's channel and her Instagram page. She's really going to be the best person to keep us updated on inventory, availability, things like that. A quick note about Demi before we begin. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're well aware of who Demi Rawling is, but in the off chance you're less familiar, maybe you're here from my beauty content, she has an incredible channel here on YouTube where she reviews both men's and women's fragrances. I first discovered her when she had maybe a little bit less than 40,000 subscribers, and since then she has just exploded. She's had so much success, including this incredible collaboration, which is a really huge deal, and I think it is a testament to the fragrance community she has built. People love her reviews. I love watching her content because she does such an incredible job describing fragrances. She's so knowledgeable. She makes it very easy to understand, and you feel like you have a sense of whether or not it would be right for you or not. I've always loved fragrance and all things beauty, and back when I was a beauty stylist at Nordstrom, I became fragrance certified, and I was attending fragrance trainings with Chanel and Tom Ford. But Demi's videos introduced me to a lot of niche fragrance houses and perfumes that I would have never discovered had it not been for her, including Fragrance Du Bois. This is my very first Fragrance Du Bois purchase, and it's all thanks to Demi. We don't always see eye to eye. I think we have pretty similar but still different tastes in fragrances, which is completely normal. I still always love to hear her thoughts. It never stops me from wanting to watch her videos. But one of the benefits of purchasing this during the restock is that I have seen some feedback on the fragrance. I've read some comments. I resisted watching any reviews. I never like to watch reviews on a product that I plan to review myself, but I read a lot of comments that compared Minuit et Demi to Penhaligon's Changing Constants, which I love. I purchased this a couple months ago now. It was part of my Orlando shopping vlog, but when I was at the counter, it was my first time, I was smelling everything, all of the best sellers, and there were several that stood out to me as being really beautiful, but Changing Constants was the one that I just kept going back to. It was so unique, so special, that I had to have it. In fact, I left the counter because they were out of stock, kept smelling my arm as I was shopping around, and then eventually I just walked back to the counter and I said, okay, let's go ahead and order this fragrance because I don't want to be without it. I felt very encouraged by the comparison. It made the blind buy feel a little less risky. If it does smell anything like Changing Constants, there's a higher chance that I'm absolutely going to love Minuit et Demi. I placed my order on April 29th. It came out to $356 US. Complimentary shipping, no taxes. It was delivered on May 3rd, so it only took a few days. I was immediately impressed with the customer service. It arrived all in one piece in this beautiful box. On the front it says Fragrance Du Bois and Demi Rawling, Minuit et Demi. And when you turn it to the back, you see a gorgeous photo of Demi and a little note about the fragrance, including her signature, which is a really nice touch. And then when you remove the sleeve, you have the same thing on the front of the box. When you remove the lid, it reveals the second velvet box inside, and this is what holds the fragrance. When you open up the black velvet box, it reveals the fragrance and the red interior. It looks so gorgeous. It's very sexy packaging. In the back, there's a little card with information on the brand. I don't know what I expected, but the first time I opened this box, it blew me away. It is just so gorgeous. Everything is so heavy and feels weighted and high quality. And then the bottle itself, let's go ahead and take it out, is really stunning. It says Fragrance Du Bois, Minuit et Demi, and then it has Demi's signature down at the bottom. I just pulled up the information from the website. There's a lot here, so you can read it yourself, but I just want to quickly talk about the notes. It says the fragrance opens with a subtle oriental spice note of cardamom and pimento, then follows the addictive heart of coffee and caramel, and the dry down has tobacco and bourbon in the base. It's a unisex fragrance for both men and women, and it's categorized as a sweet gourmand. So now the time has come to finally spray this fragrance. I've been waiting for this moment. This bottle is so beautiful. I love the little black rhinestones around the cap. They did an incredible job with the design. Okay. I'm just gonna spray it directly on my skin. I like the mister. Oh, wow. It's delicious. It does remind me a lot of Changing Constants, but the two are very different. That is so nice. It is a little bit spicy right away, but it's not too spicy. A little bit sweet, but it's not too sweet either. I didn't spray this arm yet because I want to try Changing Constants on this arm and keep Minuit et Demi over here. From what I remember, Changing Constants has a little bit more sweetness right away. It's a little bit more caramel, praline. Oh yeah, it's really good. I feel like it's already getting better. There's a bit of a creaminess to it, and I'm definitely getting the tobacco notes already. It's beautiful. A really beautiful fragrance. I knew it would be. It's so nice. It's kind of warm and sensual. It's not too much. Definitely unisex. I could see this on a man for sure. I can only imagine that it might be a bit frustrating to hear people compare your fragrance, the fragrance that you created and you worked so hard on, to other fragrances that exist. But as a consumer buying blinds online, I did find it helpful to read other people's reviews and their comparisons. At this point, I think it's nearly impossible to create a fragrance that is so unique that it doesn't smell like anything else that's available on the market. But this still has that wow factor. Whereas when you look at floral fragrances, fruity florals, there are so many that smell the same. Slight tweaks here and there, but you could kind of group them together. It also reminds me a little bit of Ouverture from Xerjoff, which I recently reviewed in my unisex fragrance video, and that I picked up from one of Demi's recommendations. It's like the love child between Ouverture and Changing Constants. Similarities between all of them. Really beautiful fragrance. I cannot wait to see how it dries down on the skin. But right now, it is so good. Because it is a gourmand, this is something that I will probably get more use out of during the fall-winter months when things cool down just a little bit. I think that holiday launch initially last year was probably perfect timing because that is peak gourmand season. That's when you want to pull out your warm, cozy fragrances. It still would work really nicely for the evenings. I could see myself wearing this now. Not something I think I will grab a lot during the day, just because living in a tropical climate, I kind of want something fresh and fruity at the moment. But the same thing is true for all of my gourmand fragrances. I just picked up Changing Constants in January, but I haven't been using it a lot lately. It's not that I don't love it, but I will grab it later on, whenever the mood fits. It is very spicy initially. Almost minty, like a cooling, fresh, dropped in the middle of a pine forest type of scent. It's a bit more masculine when it opens up, but as it dries down, within 10 minutes or less, I would say you already get the caramel, the vanilla. It softens really beautifully, and it becomes nice and smooth. It's probably been a few weeks since I've sprayed this, so I'm very curious to compare. I'm going to spray Changing Constants from Penhaligon's on my right arm. Isn't that funny? When you smell a fragrance for the first time and your brain is trying so hard to recognize it, I think, that you immediately think, oh, it smells like X or it smells like Y. And then as soon as you truly compare the two side by side, you realize that they are very different. Kind of what's happening here. My nose is a bit overwhelmed from smelling the Minuit et Demi, so let me give it a moment. So nice. Also very nice. Of the two, I think Changing Constants is a little bit more feminine. It's actually less spicy than the Minuit et Demi, which is a bit stronger. It's a bit bolder. You definitely get the coffee and the spice, and it's just strong. It's a bit more rich, and there's just a strength to this fragrance that you don't really get in the Changing Constants. This might have similar notes, similar qualities, but it's a little bit softer. I thought they would be closer, but when you smell them side by side, there are similarities, but they're different. I would say Minuit et Demi is a bit more masculine, a bit earthier than the Changing Constants, which is a little bit softer, and it almost has like a golden graham quality to it. Do you guys remember golden grams? I don't remember the last time I saw golden grams. Maybe they don't even exist. Both are very beautiful. I could see myself wearing Changing Constants a little bit more than Minuit et Demi, simply because I think this is going to be reserved for specific occasions, for evenings, for colder weather, and we just don't get that much of that here. Whereas Changing Constants, when I compare the two, it is a little bit lighter, so I could see wearing that, I think, daytime or evening. As unique as it is, I don't know if it's really a special occasion fragrance. Sort of that everyday luxury type of fragrance, in that it's special, it's going to elevate every day. It's kind of that perfect last accessory when you get ready, you know you smell good, you feel confident, you feel great, but maybe not the first fragrance you grab when you're going somewhere really elevated or you're going somewhere really dressed up. Whereas Minuit et Demi, I could see grabbing for those elevated occasions, for birthdays, anniversaries, a special date night, something really incredible. Maybe it's a romantic night out, or if you have some sort of special event, maybe you're a wedding guest, something like that. That's when I would grab this. There's just something about it that is so wow. I think because men's colognes tend to be a little bit spicier, I can see a man wearing this every single day or evening on a man. But as a woman who does like to indulge in fruity florals and softer fragrances during the spring, summer months, I think this would be something that I would only grab on occasion for right now. Between the two arms, Changing Constants is just so much lighter overall. It's almost hard to detect on the skin already, and maybe that's because my nose is a bit overwhelmed, but this is kind of soft. I can barely pick up on it, whereas this, as soon as my nose gets even a little bit close to the arm, I can really smell it. I did spray several times on this arm. My overall first impression of Minuit et Demi is that it is an incredible fragrance, and I'm so happy that this is my first experience with Fragrance du Bois because everything has been 10 out of 10, from the packaging, the bottle design, the shopping experience, and the fast shipping. I'm just so impressed with the brand overall that it makes me excited. It sort of entices me to explore the website a little bit more and see what else they have to offer. As for the price, whether or not I think it is truly worth $350, because it is pricey, I do think it is priced appropriately. For Fragrance du Bois, you're paying for the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the packaging. It's right there within the Fragrance du Bois price range. When I think about other niche fragrance houses, other luxury fragrance houses, between $300 to $350 has almost become that sweet spot. It's a widely accepted price point price range now, you're almost always going to pay somewhere around there for a luxury fragrance of this caliber. It's not going to be right for everybody because fragrance is just so personal. There will be people who love it and they buy backup bottles because they never want to run out. And then I'm sure there will be some people who feel that it's just not right for them. Personally, I think it is very special and it is different from some of the other, most of the fragrances in my collection. So I'm happy to add this to my collection, pay the luxury price point. I think it is beautiful and I know I will get use out of it. It's hard for me to imagine somebody disliking the fragrance because it is just so delicious. If nothing else, I think you will like it. You might not love it, want to buy it, want to wear it every day, want to bathe in it, but I don't think anybody's going to dislike it. Certainly if you love the sound of the description and you like this type of fragrance, you won't be disappointed. I'm going to conclude today's video with one final sniff test because it's been on my arm for probably about an hour at this point. Still going strong, it's really good. The notes that stand out to me the most would be the caramel, tobacco, coffee. It's a very moody, sensual, very seductive fragrance. I think this will be great for evenings, date nights for both men and women. If you like deeper, intense fragrances, I think you'll really love this. If you follow her closely and you know her preferences, I think it does give you some insight into the fragrance. I think Demi and the entire team at Fragrance du Bois did an incredible job on this collaboration with this fragrance, and I just hope this is just the beginning. I want to see more collaborations from her in the future. And that completes my first impression review of Minuit et Demi. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, your questions down below. I am very curious to hear from you guys. Have you tried this fragrance yet? Did you order your bottle? Drop me a comment. We will keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.